The beginning is that I happened to be watching Now on PBS and saw, I think it was about 2 years ago, and it was a special about the movie Gasland coming out, and they were interviewing the guy who'd made the movie and showing clips of water being lit on fire. And I said to myself, well, thank God that doesn't happen around here. And then lo and behold, this past spring, I read in the paper that, holy cow, it is going to happen here. And my opinion of it is that it's dangerous. I don't think it's been adequately studied. I've just been incredibly concerned. I don't really want it around. And I guess, it's one of those things that, thanks to Idaho statutes, they're going to make their way in here. And so, despite how I feel about them, I want to be involved, and I want to make sure that the rules that are going to be put in place are rules that actually protect people. And, that's kind of in question, really. I've been down there the past, since June, since the rulemaking started. I've been there to almost every one, and it's a pretty depressing ordeal, if you ask me. So, in Washington County, people have already signed leases, quite a few people. I think maybe 15 or more, and that's just out on Cove Road, and supposedly maybe out on Airport Road, which is, pretty close to town. And it's something that's moving this way, and I'm sure we'll be heading up the road, and something that all Idaho needs to be ready for. And what's interesting is, I consider myself to be a fairly informed individual. I've lived in Idaho the vast majority of my life, and it was only recently that I learned much about Idaho's statutes. Like, for example, the first priority that's supreme to all others for the state of Idaho is to develop its resources. The fourth priority is to protect groundwater. I can't imagine that any sane person would argue that natural gas or oil or gold is more important than groundwater. Payette seems like it just kind of sat on its hands and either didn't think anything was going to come of anything, or thought maybe the state had something in place for them. And so they were not proactive, period. And as a result, I think in Washington County we've been looking eastward over to them and saying, whoa, this is not how we want this to go down in our county. We need rules in place. We're not going to let an industry just come in and do whatever it wants just because there aren't rules in place, and hope for the best. And that seems to be Payette's attitude.